Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? It's Tuple Play NegativeAE, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry. Last we left off, we had kind of gotten to like Satoshi a little bit as Shion, which I think maybe causes a little bit of problems between Mion and Shion, but I don't know for sure. And I was also informed that I'll know what timeline we're in eventually, as far as like this goes, and how they're all interconnected. Well, I mean, not necessarily how they're all interconnected, but for this one I'll know what timeline I'm in. The more that the story progresses, the more I think that it's probably just going to tell me how they're all connected at the very, very, very end, which I don't know. And then there's a point where we're going to get to... Actually, do they have voice acting for the whole series? I don't know yet. Or just the ones that were released on the PS3 or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to read a crumpled diary, because that's where we left off. Okay. So we're back at being Satoshi. Let's see what happens. My aunt finally stopped her hysterical screaming. Today was just like any other day. Can't remember what set her off. Whatever it was. She changed subjects constantly anyway. It didn't matter. She went on past midnight again. The urge to sleep was pounding in the back of my head. When Satoko had been able to relax, she fell down on the spot and began sleeping, still clinging to my sleeve. I carried Satoko to the bedroom and laid out our futons. Satoko crawled in like a worm. She stopped moving when she was inside. I wish I could go to bed too. But I couldn't. My aunt asked me to do some chores. I had to get toothpaste after school tomorrow. I had to write it down somewhere. I had to make rice for lunch tomorrow. Set the timer. Right. I also had to repile the towels in the bathroom. That was the reason for today's scolding. My aunt will get mad if everything isn't done the way she wants. Oh, and there was something else. Was working at the grocery store the next day. Wanted me to bring an apron. Did we even have an apron in this house? I'd never seen one. My aunt will be sleeping when I go to school, so I won't have time to ask her. What should I do? Since Mion helped me get that job, I don't want to screw it up. In that case, why don't I ask Mion about it at school? She might lend me one. Is there anything else? I was envious of Satoko because she got to go to bed. It's pathetic that I felt that way. Who got him the job, I wonder? Was it Shion or Mion? I guess that's the big question there. Well, I mean, not really. The big question is what timeline we're in, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. We'll see what happens.
こんにちは。今日もお暑いのにご精が出ますことで。
お、ミオンさんじゃないですか。こんにちは。あれ？それは差し入れですか？ありがたいな。さすがは我がチームのマネージャー。
まあ気が向いたからです。別に監督に差し入れたくて買ってきたわけじゃないの。あとさりげなく人を勝手にマネージャーに組み込まないように。
ミオンがマネージャーだったらいろいろ心強いと思うけどね。やってよ、ミオン。マネージャー。
Satoshi-kun smiled at me in a carefree manner. I didn't want to become their manager. It'd be tiresome. I've been coming every week though, so I'm a quasi-manager already.
まあ、で、どうです？サトシ君の打率はどんな感じです？
ええ、頑張ってますよ。彼の打率です。セブンスマートでおせん。
それってつまり3割ってことですか？
What the fuck does if you buy 3 packs of rice crackers at Seven Smart?
へえ、3割打者。サトシ君って結構な高打率打者じゃないの。
I don't know what that means. That flew way over my head if that means something. I don't know.
打率は数字じゃないよ、ミオン。ここ一番で打てなきゃ 意味はないんだからさ。
サトシ君は自分で自分の弱点をそこまで分かっているなら、あとは練習あるのみですよ。
EDA signaled to the pitcher, who then threw the ball. Satoshi-kun looked calm, following the ball with his eyes. Then he swung. Whack. Ball flew between first and second bases and landed in the distance.
やったー、パチパチパチパチパチ。
I clapped and Satoshi-kun blushed in response. He repositioned his helmet to hide his face.
フリーバッティングや試合が平坦な時はかなり落ち着いたいいバッティングを見せてくれるんですけどね。
EDA smiled compassionately. EDA is a weird name because it looks shorter than it sounds. I don't know, that's a weird EDA. Alright, it seemed that Satoshi-kun couldn't perform well when it counted. While he was usually good, when everybody expected him to perform, he couldn't. I didn't think it was because of nervousness, he just couldn't do it. I think he's a perfect fit for Satoshi-kun's character. He seems calm at first, but he's actually slow.
スコアボードとかそういう数字上ではかなりの高アベレージヒッターなのにね。
Numerically speaking, you're a great
本番に
player.
弱いってのは致命的かも。そんなことだからこないだの浮田ジャガーとの試合でもここ一番で凡退するんですよ。
うるさいな。気にしてるんだから頭。
あそこで打てればかなり美味しい見せ場だったんですけどね。残念です。
A hit could have put the offense into the lead, or at least given them an extension. That was when Satoshi-kun came up to bat. Ide wanted him to live up to everybody's expectations, but statistically that wasn't likely to happen. Yet Ide insisted on giving him a chance in spite of the fact that all team members had suggested a pinch hitter.
ああ、もうあそこで打てれば完璧なのにな。どうしてダメなんです？どうしてああいう時に打てないんですか？
仕方ないよ。僕がああいう時弱いの本当だし。
It's like me, I do that all the time.
代打を出してくれた方が試合に勝てるかなって思
I
った
I
し。
can do shit, but when it counts, it's like,
試合に勝つかじゃなくてサトシ君が勝つかどうかが問題なんです。ああ、もうなんで当の本人に普通は逆でしょ。代打に変えられそうなところをここは俺に自分から代打を出してほしいなんて言い出すなんて、なんでここまで闘争心がないのかな。
それは私もまあその辺がサトシ君のいい。
普段は紳士でも試合には鬼になる。男にはそういう二面性があっても私はいいと思います。とにかくサトシ君には鬼がない。仮にもひなみ沢の人間なんだからたまにはご先祖の鬼の血を思い出してくださいよね。で、サトシ君？
聞いてるよ。よくわかんないけど。
わかんないけどってサトシ君の話をしてるんですよ。
I don't like that the music died out.
それを
Okay. The music just died out to come back in again. I thought something serious was about to happen. Satoshi-kun suddenly started stroking my head. He looked delighted for some reason. A blush immediately spread across my face. I didn't know how to
ミオ
respond.
ンは僕のありがとう。僕は頑張る。
サトシ君、そういうことしてごまかさないでください。
Kind of rude. You're giving me advice, right? Okay, thanks. I'll do my best.
ごまかしてなんかないよ。
It just me. I don't know.
嬉しいだけだよ。
It was a weird thing to say. I couldn't resist his hand. Couldn't help mumbling like he does. Satoshi-kun ran back to the field, leaving me red as a beet.
頭撫でられるの？
撫でる人により監督が撫でてきたら関節決めますんで覚悟の方よろしくです。
じゃあ全員集合。今日は出席もいいことですから人数を分けて紅白戦をやってみましょう。
Inamizawa fighters are sort of a lazy team. The members simply gather to enjoy playing baseball, not to fight for victory. The Okinomiya Titans use this field too, but they practice on a different day of the week. They always train hard using dumbbells and stuff. Our team split into two groups and started a match, retaining their loose atmosphere.
じゃあ私は監督
いつもすみません。はい、これお願いしますね。
I took out a pencil and the clipboard. I didn't know how to differentiate between recording hits and errors at first, but by now I was used to
頑
it.
張ってあんまり応援するとまた打てなくなっちゃいますね。ほどほどに頑張れ
それはそれでひどいな。
Uh,
頑張れ
Time passed slowly that Sunday. Huge white clouds appeared in the sky. They made me feel healthy. Humans born to be active under the sun. Humans are born to be active under the sun. One of the parents was acting as umpire today, so Irie sat on the bench with me. He shouted words of encouragement to the kids while they ran to their positions. Any other baseball coach would constantly berate them, but he was much more generous, like a kindergarten teacher. He let the kids have fun while watching over them. To other baseball players, it might look a little naive.
それでもあの程度の練習量でみんなこれだけの動きができるん
ひなみ沢の子はみんな普段から元気。運動量は町のことは比べ物に。変なフォームで固めてしまうより遊び感覚の方が伸びるんです。
おお見事に沖宮タイタンズとは正反対の考え。あちらの監督と対立するのわかる気がします。
タイタンズさんの試合は勝つためにするものです。勝利至上主義は決して間違いじゃないです。みんなで団結して共通の目標を目指すのは、まあうちはその目標がたまたま勝利じゃないってだけのことです。
The Hinamizawa Fighters and the Okinomiya Titans have been rivals for a long time. Both teams shared the same baseball field for one thing. Originally there was only one team, but the people living in Hinamizawa left and made their own. Anyhow, we were rivals. The Okinomiya Titans were strictly about winning, and the Hinamizawa Fighters were just about having fun. Surprisingly, our scores weren't that different, which meant our team had something they didn't. Even though I couldn't put it into words, I knew what made that happen.
ほら赤組さんも頑張ってください。2点差なんかひっくり返せちゃいますよ。白組も油断なくしっかり。
Though some parents would criticize our coach for being too lenient, but still others would strongly agree with him. Which side would I take? The latter? I couldn't really say for sure. The reason for this was that Irie had an obnoxious habit of sexual harassment. In particular, he had a fascination with maids. But I should talk about that some other time. Satoshi-kun let the ball pass twice to see its trajectory, and then hit it on the third pitch and ran to first base.
お、サトシ君打った打った。落ち着いてればさすがですよね。
最初はちょっと素振りしただけでそれを思えば本当に上達した。
サトシ君って文系って感じの人ですよね。よくその彼が野球をやろうなんて思ったものですね。
All the other kids who joined the baseball team loved baseball. They'd go out to play in the fields instead of practice. That's why they all had an aptitude for it. But Sis never said that Satoshi-kun exercises intensively in school or anywhere else. He only likes to read. That's why I didn't understand why he started playing for this team to begin with.
それはですね。
へえ、監督が自らスカウト。サトシ君に何かすごい素質があるのを見抜いて。
あ、すみません。麦茶を。あ、どうも。
Irie asked for tea in a suspicious manner. While he constantly joked around, I knew he was actually a very mature person. I assumed he was trying to evade my question.
何か訳ありなんですか？
Irie pretended he didn't hear me, but I pressed him on it. In response, he shrugged and began answering the question.
園崎さんなら、あるいは想像がつくんじゃないかと。
I quickly searched through the data I had on Satoshi-kun. Came up with Satoshi-kun's family circumstances. He lost his parents in an accident a year ago. Since then, he's been having a tough time at his uncle's home.
じゃあ監督はサトシ君の鬱憤とか。
スポーツはいいですよ。 程よく体を動かしてまた熱中することによって、わずかな間でも家庭のことを忘れられるなら。
ほら、サトシ君ってぼんやりしてるというか、のほほんとしてるというか、そういうところあるじゃない。やっぱり相当ストレスあるんですか？
I feel like we're gonna get caught very soon. I knew Satoshi-kun must be suffering even though he didn't look like it. But Mion Sonozaki never pays attention to things like that, and I had to act as like she does.
おじさんに引き取られて少ししてから、サトシいろんな症状を訴えるんですが、いくら調べても原因がはっきりしないんですよ。
Suffered from fatigue and migraines. He suffered from a lack of energy and sleeplessness. The coach, Dr. Irie, soon realized Satoshi-kun was suffering from a psychological disorder. Most of the people in Hinamizawa knew how bad Satoshi-kun's environment was. It was natural for him to become sick because he entered that bad environment right after his parents' deaths.
サトシ君は感情の泣いたりとか怒ったりとか、そういう感情が人一。
確かにサトシ君が泣いたりとか怒ったりってのは、
サトシ君のお母さんが再婚を重ねてるのは、
まあ少しは。
Satoshi-kun's mother had married a number of men over the years. That means Satoshi had several stepfathers. He had to deal with strangers coming into his home multiple times, so he was forced to be mature.
サトシ君は精神的に本人は自覚していないでしょうがね。
That's rude. Satoshi-kun is mentally
泣いたり
underdeveloped.
笑ったり、ダダをこねたり。
Oh, like he can't cry?
そういう時代をあっという間に卒業させられて大人になっちゃったんです。
監督の言い方だと、大人ってのが、
子供は子供らしく過ごすことで、それを無理に大人にしたらやっぱりいいことはないですよ。
I heard that her relationships with her previous stepfathers weren't good either. Toko always caused problems. Satoshi-kun would always step in to protect her.
だからサトシ君の体に変調が出たのは、そういうことに体が耐えかねた SOS じゃないかって思ったんです。
Told Satoshi that he needed a new member, something like that.
初めは渋って彼と診療の際にいろいろとお話しするうちに、少しちょっと見学だけにでも来てみるといい、ちょっとバットを持ってみるといいなんて感じで少しずつ誘っていったんですよ。
Sports worked excellently for Satoshi-kun. His health quickly improved and he started to become interested in baseball. He practiced batting. Soon he would be able to swing beautifully and he learned how to see the trajectory of the ball.
なんかわかる。サトシ君ってコツコツ「How to Baseball」なんて本を
それであれよあれよという間に3割打者なんです。本当によく頑張りました。これでピンチの時にも打てれば完璧なんですけど。
サトシ君と監督って仲いいんですか？
悪くはないと思ってます。悩みとかそういうのを打ち明けてくれたということは、私を信頼してくれたからだと思ってます。
I was a bit jealous of how confidently Irie had said that. While Satoshi-kun and I were friends, we weren't so close that we'd open up to each other like that.
あれ？嫉妬してます？
何に？
Taken aback, I blushed. Irie started laughing at
園
me.
崎さんも
まあなれるならで
I didn't know what I was saying.
サトシ君ですね。最近また少し。
Baseball flew to the left. The left fielder managed to catch it. It seemed that the relationship between Satoko and her aunt had gotten worse lately. It's obvious his sickness had something to do with
お
that.
ばさんがかなり大人げなサトコちゃん。何しろ
で、それをかばうサトシ君もボロボロになっているということですね。
You're doing a lot of assuming. I understand that you're correct. I don't know. I was interested in Satoko, so I wasn't interested in Satoko, so I switched the Damn, dude, she is like hard for freaking Satoshi-kun. What is going on? I didn't know much about Satoko. I knew she was a big part of Satoshi-kun's life, but I'd never been interested in her until today. She must have been building up self-esteem. She must have been building up self-esteem and taking care of her unreliable brother. It was all I knew about her. But considering Satoshi-kun's personality, even that goofiness might have been an act. Maybe he was trying to make her feel good about herself by letting her take care of him. If only unconsciously. When he's alone, he's surprisingly strong. I realized that only recently. But I couldn't help but think that his whole life is constantly affected by Satoko. Satoshi-kun managed to get along with his stepfathers even though he experienced some stress. He was even getting along with his aunt. But in order to protect Satoko, he always had to step in and suffer. Didn't really know anything about Satoko, but I had to admit I felt hostile towards her. I felt jealous because she was monopolizing him. Jesus.
最近さとこちゃんへのおばさんのいじめがだいぶエスカレ
I
ート
had
してる
no
みたいで
idea
す
that Shion is so, I guess she was pretty obsessive when she met Keiichi.
サトシ君の体調不良もそれに比例しているんでしょうね
That makes sense, actually. She was pretty like, you're mine. She would like hold my arm and try and make me like her. That must be what's causing Satoshi-kun's sickness. Irie heaved a sigh. As he said, Satoshi-kun had been absent a few times lately. Seems a bit tired, too. He looked normal when around everybody else, but he looked a bit depressed when he was alone.
監督はストレスに押しつぶされそう。
ええそのつも
こうして野球をやっている。またストレスに押しつぶされそうになっているサトシ。
どうすればいいんでしょうね
Irie smiled powerlessly. I couldn't help but feeling a bit disappointed about that because Satoshi-kun put his trust in him.
内緒に実はですねチームを抜けたい
どうして
疲れるからというのはさとこちゃんと一緒にいる時間をさとしくんは野球をしている間さとこちゃんがおばさんにいじめられその時さとこちゃんのそばにいる
I was left speechless for a while. Satoko again. Satoko. Why did Satoshi-kun have to sacrifice so much for her? Just by ignoring her, his stress would melt away. Of course, I knew he couldn't do that. If that were the case, then the blame lay with his little sister. I knew how badly she'd been treated, but that only happened because she made things worse for herself. Jesus Christ. It was her fault she couldn't establish a decent relationship with their aunt. If Satoko were more mature like Satoshi-kun, her home life wouldn't have gotten so bad. Satoshi-kun wouldn't have to suffer those indirect blows. What the fuck? In the meantime, the baseball team's practice match had become one-sided. It wasn't even worth watching anymore. She's very obsessive, which is fine. She's still best girl. But Jesus, Satoko-kun's taken him away from me. If Satoko-kun would just act better, then she would get along. It was weird. It didn't look like it'd rain soon, though. The gray sky hadn't brought any cool air. It just felt disgusting. Irie became quiet. He was looking down around his feet. I, meanwhile, just stared at Satoshi-kun. To me, he didn't look active anymore. He was once able to enjoy playing baseball. He felt fine. But he got sick again, just because the relationship between Satoko and her aunt had deteriorated. I couldn't help but say it.
サトシ君をどうこうするってより、サトコをどうこうする方が先決では。
Okay. It was just a murmur, but Irie had definitely caught it.
それはどういう意味ですか園崎さん
別に、サトコがしっかりしてくれれば、サトシ君に迷惑を、サトコがそもそもの原因であるってことが言いたいだけです。
うん
でしょ？だって、 サトコがトラブルからサトシ君はそのトラブルに介入して矢面に立たなければならないんでしょ。でその結果本当は買わなくて済んだおばの喧嘩まで買ってるわけでしょ。
Satoshi-kun never got scared of any trouble, no matter how formidable the enemy. He'd bravely stand up to protect the weak. I knew that because I could vividly imagine it. Whenever their aunt chides Satoko, Satoshi-kun steps in to protect her. Her aunt probably didn't like it. Though Satoshi-kun didn't have to fight, the aunt would attack him anyway. The fight would be between the aunt and him. Satoko might then tease the aunt by sticking out her tongue and hiding behind his back and pretending to be scared. What the fuck? Doing a lot of assuming over here. Should never think about how deeply he was being hurt. A lot of opinions being thrown around. Because Satoko and Satoshi had become cornered and stressed.
園崎さん、あなたはさとこちゃんのお友達、お姉さん的な立場でしょ。普段も学校で、なのに正直驚いています。
He looked at me suspiciously. I could tell what he was thinking about me. It said too much. Mian Sonozaki and Satoko Hyojo are friends. They're close, so Mian should have been encouraging her after the situation at home got tougher. That's what Mian was supposed to do. I had totally forgotten about that and spoken as myself. It's only natural that Irie would give me a suspicious look. I'd end up changing his impression of Mian Sonozaki entirely. I'd have to apologize to her about this and then ask her to put things right. I totally messed up. Even so, I didn't think I'd said anything wrong. I'd objectively looked at the situation and made a modest proposal. To be honest, I was simply afraid that he might leave the team. I couldn't go to the school in Hinamizawa, so the baseball field was the only place I could see him. I could even say that was my reason for living. What the f... What the hell? Best girl is super obsessive. That's crazy. That's right. I was in love with him. This girl met him for like 2-3 days. And knows him bi-curiously through Mian. Not like herself. Like she doesn't even know who you are. That's crazy. Well, I was just satisfied just by being by his side. I certainly couldn't ask for anything more. After all, I couldn't reveal my true identity. I had to pretend to be Mian in order to live in the Okinomiya. I thought that maybe I should leave Okinomiya in order to be in order to be free. But that's stupid. No matter how tough my life might be, I'd prefer to be here, with Satoshi-kun stroking my head every now and then. Why did I love him that much? I read about it in a manga once. You don't need a reason to be in love. I was surprised at myself for being like this.
落ち着け、私。
I breathed out slowly, then held my breath, trying to slow my throbbing heart. I felt a bit calmer. At that point, a clear thought came into my head. I want to be with Satoshi-kun. So, I want him to stay on the team. So, I want to get rid of his concerns and his stress. So what? So, what can I do to achieve all that? My head started to cool down as I heard the umpire shout. I don't know if this obsessive personality is going to get crazy or if it's going to be wholesome the entire time. Because right now it's pretty wholesome. She's just like, oh, I love him. I want him to pat my head. I want Satoko out of the picture. Some days as I see him, some days I don't. A clear sky gets cloudy and rain will stop eventually. I thought his absence was just like that, but he was actually on the verge of a breakdown. What the fuck is the Notebook? I know we've been reading this Notebook for like ever. My theory is that it's well, because there was a Notebook where there was like a diary that what's her name had, that The girl with the scary stories. Fuck, what's her name? God, I can't. Takano. Her name is Takano. Yeah, Takano-san. She had written like a diary about like all the three families and stuff, but this new one looks like it's written by Shion. I don't know. The rainy season was just around the corner, and the air had become so humid that my shirt stuck to my skin. It had been a few weeks since Satoshi-kun stopped showing up for baseball practice. I looked for him as soon as I arrived at the field. Not here yet. Did I get here too early? I want to see him playing in the field right when I get here. I had started arriving late because of those feelings. However, he wasn't here today either. I didn't even bother hiding my disappointment anymore. Everybody knew by now how I felt. The team members from Mion's class came over to try and console me, but I shooed them away.
園崎さん、気分が優れませんか?
Even Irie couldn't comfort me. I was aware that he too knew why I was like this.
今日帰りますね。気分じゃないです。
ほら、今日は沖宮対マネージャーの園崎さんにも。
私を勝手に私マネージャーだったつもりはないんですから。
Irie looked down, not knowing what to say.
わかりました。元気が回復したら。
もう来ないかもです。マネージャーが必要なら、私以外を募集してください。
気が向いた時でいいです。また遊び、それにほら、あなたがいないと、サトシ君が戻ってきた時、寂しがりますよ。
I ignored him and turned around. I had already set up my schedule with Mion, so I didn't have to ask her every time anymore. I tried to contact her a couple of times to ask how Satoshi-kun was doing in school, but I hadn't been able to get through to her. Apparently, the hag had sensed that I might be in contact with Sis. In other words, Sis was being watched. As a result, it hasn't been easy to contact her. Kasai, who had been helping me contact her, seemed to have also been marked. People knew he was loyal to me. I hadn't seen him for a while either. All I could do was wonder how Satoshi-kun was doing. I was frustrated because there was no way for me to know. My head was filled with worries. But something surprised me out of the blue. Somebody called out to me when I was about to leave the field on my bike.
みーちゃん、こんにちは。
Mi-chan! Oh no. I'd never seen this girl before. Luckily, she called me Mi-chan. There's only one person who refers to Mion that way, as far as I know.
レナか。珍しいね。レナがここに来るなんて。
Her name is Reina Ryugu. Her real name is Reina, but she wants to be called Rena. I used to call her Reina all the time. That's what we call her. She moved here in April. I had some information on her, but it was all ambiguous. This was still a bit uncertain about her since she's still new. Or she's so new. It was hard for me to handle someone like that. I didn't know how to act around her as Mion, so I decided to pretend to be in obvious sulky mood. That way she wouldn't talk to me as much, assuming that Mion was simply feeling bad. Well, that's how I really am anyway.
みーちゃんは帰り？うん。気分が優れないの？悪いね。じゃあ一緒に帰ろう。
Oh, fucking Rena, dude. She's fucking crazy. I wanted to say that I'd rather be alone, but there's only one road to Hinamizawa. So asking to be alone would look odd. The only way to not seem suspicious would be to walk home with her. That's a fucking terrible idea.
そうだね。
That's the fucking worst idea I've ever heard in my life. I know that we don't. Oh my goodness.
みーちゃん、傘は？持ってないけど。今日はこの後、天気崩れる傘ないなら急ごう。
That's a fucking bad idea. Oh my goodness. Rena gives me so much anxiety just seeing her on screen. I don't know why. I don't know why she just because she's been the antagonist. So every time I see her, I'm like, she's definitely the antagonist. And then for some reason, in like the second one, I think it was, she was like super nice, and she like helped me get to Mion, and we like took Mion down together because we were like, Mion's out of control. But in like the first and third one, she was like off the walls insane. And so I don't know how I feel about Rena at all. And that's why she gives me anxieties, because I don't know if she's good or bad. As she predicted, we were attacked by pouring rain on our way. We ended up taking shelter in a small shack in front of a bus stop.
すごい振りだけど、これはそんなに長引きそうだね。
I heard the sound of rain pattering on the rooftop and the raindrops jumping into puddles. It sounded loud, but it made me feel strangely calm. I zoned out for a moment. Then Rena talked to me while looking up at the rainy sky.
最近心配してたんだよ。
All the baseball team members knew I was depressed because I hadn't seen Satoshi-kun. Most of them attended the school in Hinamizawa, so it wasn't surprising that she knew as well. I hadn't been able to contact Sis these past few weeks, but I was sure she had an idea of how I feel about Satoshi-kun, and how I would feel if he didn't come to his baseball practice. Sis was probably pretending to act a little depressed during her day-to-day in Hinamizawa to avoid creating a big gap between our moods. But neither of us knew the details about the other right now. She wouldn't be able to answer if the others asked her what was wrong. She'd only be able to say, "Leave me alone." That might lead to more people to become worried. Rena must have thought Mion was depressed. That's why she came all the way to see me. She must known what was going on because she knew that I was at the baseball field.
サトシ君、構ってくれないから。
Having deduced what had been going on with Satoshi-kun from what she just said, he'd been distancing himself from others lately because of exhaustion. That's what it sounded like, at least.
サトコちゃんの件でだいぶサトシ君はかわいそうだよ。サトシ君は本当に
Who are you,
妹
Rena?
思いだからね。
Are you good this time or are you terrible?
偉いよ、本当に。
Dumb blue eyes are gonna turn gray any second. Turn like blank. From what I said sounded hollow. As if I knew too well how much of a burden Satoko had become.
でもだからってみーちゃんまで落ち込ん。私に追い詰めるつもりなんてないよ。それはもちろん知ってても、だから学校にいる時のサトシ君を笑顔で迎えてあげられなかった。
Dude, Rena's gonna find out real quick. She can read fucking
みー
minds.
ちゃんはたとえ嘘でもだから嘘でも笑ってほしいの。
I'm waiting for the bells, dude. I'm waiting for the shing shing because she knows something that she's not supposed to know.
最初はたとえ嘘でもね、笑顔って最後には本物になるんだよ。
Dude, she already knows. What she was saying in a nutshell was this: both Satoshi-kun and Satoko were totally wiped out. If Mion was also depressed, then she's the sort of person who usually lightens their mood. Their situation would be struck in a vicious cycle. Rena sounded more like she was trying to give me advice than trying to console me. She must be more mature than she looks. This told me that she was a funny girl with a few bad habits. But she seemed to have another very mature side to her.
みーちゃんはサトシ君のこと
Don't answer that! Thank you. Thank you for realizing that you shouldn't have told her that. Oh my goodness, I hate everything. Any piece of information told to Rena is a bad idea.
笑
Rena
お
smiled
う。みーちゃ
herself.
んの笑顔できっとみーちゃんはそれでもね、多分理屈ではわかるけどね、笑えったって そう簡単にはできないよ。
Giggled and
野
nodded.
球の練習にもさ、バイトが終わったらきっと帰ってくるから。
Part-time job. I almost asked that question, but I managed to stop myself. From the tone of Rena's voice, it sounded like it was something everyone knew.
バイトか。いつ終わるんだろうね。
お金が貯まるまでだろうけど、どんなに遅くてもさとこちゃんの誕生日までには終わるよ。
I tried to figure out what was going on from what she said. I had to listen very carefully to uncover the whole picture. Satoshi-kun seemed to be working in order to make some money. I don't think it's very easy to find a job when you're still in school. Sis might have had something to do with it. His job only seemed temporary. It seemed to have something to do with Satoko's birthday. It wasn't that difficult to figure it out. Satoshi was working and saving up to buy his little sister something expensive for her birthday. He was trying to comfort her, even though he was so torn up himself. Toko again. Toshi-kun was already worn out because of her, and now he was working for her sake, even though he was exhausted. How stupid. It would be easier for him to just forget about Satoko. You better not be thinking that next to Rena, because she's gonna read your mind. Fucking piece of shit. I startled when I realized Rena was looking straight into my eyes. She was smiling, but her eyes looked creepy. I never voiced what I was thinking, but she was looking at me as though she figured out that I was blaming Satoko. She beamed when she noticed my fear. She smiled as though she understood that I thought that way because of love. She was giving me the creeps. The rain began to pick
さ
up.
とこちゃんがさとしくんを独占してることに知っ
I avoided answering immediately this time. Yeah, because she could read your mind. She's a demon. Rena's the piece of evidence that most resembles a demon. But Rena seemed to know what I was thinking already.
別にみーちゃん人を一途に好きになるときって
ありがとう。
でもみーちゃんは今までずっとさとこちゃんを
This
励ま
was
して
a
くれ
bad
てたよ
idea.
ね。
This was never a good idea. You should have been like, I just want to be alone for a while. That would have been the correct response to, we should walk home together. I just want to sit alone for a while. Leave me alone. And then she would have pulled her creepy thing, and at that moment you would have known that she was creepy, and you wouldn't have gone on the walk.
それって
さとこは仲間だ。当然でしょ。
It sounded so fake. It felt like I was spitting on the floor.
私たちにはどうやったらこの苦境から
さとこがさとしくんにべったりしすぎなんだよ。さとこがもっとしっかりすれば、さとしくんがここまで追い詰められることはない。
Lady. I know we just met this girl. I know we just met Rena. So I can't be too mad. I can't be too mad at Shion. Because no one knows Rena like I know Rena. I don't know. See, it seems like she's a crazy bitch in this one. You don't just have crazy eyes.
はっきり言うね。
Almost. Watch, she's going to be like, it's almost as if you're not Mion. Oh my goodness, dude.
さとしくんもさ
And I kept smiling, but her smile looked strangely cold.
さとしくんも多分心のどこかでさとこちゃんをかばい続けることに
Given
疲
the
れを
type of
感じて
person
ると思
Rena
う。
is, I don't think she'd say something like that if she wasn't certain of it. Because of that, she must have been confident in what she just told
ど
me.
うして。
私さとしくんに打ち明けられたから。
She's like a pro.
さとしくん兄として頼られることに苦痛を感じる。
Dude, Rena knows everything. She has like, oh my god. Just leave.
そ
Just
れ
leave
は
the situation. I
と
don't
ても
want to
罪
deal with
深い
this.
ことだと知っているけどってね。
Why can't you just be cool for once? Why was she good in the second one? She had to have been like up to something terrible. Maybe she knew that I was gonna get caught in the second one, and that's why she helped me into Mion's place. She knew that I was gonna be caught, tortured, and like almost killed, if not killed, at the end. It wasn't likely that Rena was lying. I just met her, so I didn't know what made me feel that way. But my hunch told me that she was telling the truth. I heaved a huge sigh. Satoshi-kun must have gotten so tired that he couldn't help telling someone. Even so, even if he thought that way, he wouldn't tell somebody so easily. Maybe Rena led him to do so. He might be capable of something like that. I don't understand this girl. It had only been a little while since we'd met, but I'd already started talking about something I was keeping deep inside of me. Does she have some kind of supernatural power to reach into people's minds and drag out what they're thinking? It suddenly hit me that I was sitting with this creepy girl in a tiny shack. I'd been dragged into her strange world. I don't think Sis has realized Rena's real personality. She thinks Rena is just a funny girl with some strange habits. She would have told me if she knew.
レナはサトシ君に打ち明けられるくらいに羨ましい。
別に私が経験者だからだと思う。
経験？レナにも兄弟をかば
ひたひたとずっと足音がついてきて、夜は枕元にまで立たれて見下ろされる経験。
Okay.
みーちゃんにはない？ないと思う、多分。
And I kept laughing self-derisively. I tried to figure out what she was saying.
みーちゃんはひなみ沢から逃げ出そうとか、もっと都会に行きたいなとか、そういうことを考えたことはある？
I didn't know how to respond. Rena waited for my answer, urging me to speak with her silence.
ないよ。私は地元好きだし。
だよね。みーちゃんはそうだと思う。
Didn't seem like a good idea to lie to her. Rena has some kind of power that she can read your damn mind. She's done it every single chapter that she's in. That she has the ability to be in the chapter. She's done it. She's read the mind of whoever you're talking about. It's like guaranteed if Rena is in the scene and it's not comic relief, she's reading someone's mind creepily and then shooting them that stupid glare that makes no sense.
そうならば、みーちゃんは大丈夫。お社様には怒られない。
お社様？
Couldn't understand why she mentioned that name. My mind stopped for a moment.
うん。お社様。
See, like, this can't be... I don't know. Oyashiro-sama never allows heathens to desecrate Hinamizawa. Oyashiro-sama never allows the villagers to leave either. Those are the rules. Slowly, I recalled the fear of the curse which supposedly caused the dismemberment, murder, and death of the Hyojo couple. The Hojo couple? When I was sent to the institution, I had this fear. I was scared that if I went to that faraway boarding school, I'd fall under the curse. But I should be okay. I escaped from that school and returned to my hometown. Okunomiya to be precise. But it should be okay according to the kids' rules, because I love Hinamizawa. The hag forces me to live this suffocating life, but I still chose to stay in this place. I don't believe I'm breaking Oyashiro-sama's rules. Even though the Sonozaki family had selfishly brainwashed me to a remote place, I came back here anyway. Oyashiro-sama should even bless me for that. I guess I'm trying to convince myself that the curse doesn't apply to me. I think I'm still afraid of it.
私は地元、その意味ではお社様のたたり模範的だとすら思ってるけど。
うん。それは私も認める。だからこそサトシ君のことはわかんない。
どうして？
サトシ君は心のどこかで。
Okay. Yes, yes.
ひなみざわを捨ててどこかへ逃げ出したいと思って。
I wish I could pull off this dead stare on command. Wouldn't it be cool if you could just pull off like a blank, like just like make your eyes kind of go like, I don't know what that look is, but it's like very stern, but like cute at the same time. I gave it an inaudible cry. While I was feeling sad that Satoshi-kun hadn't shown up for practice, he still lived in Hinamizawa. So I'd never even considered the thought of him going away.
サトシ君が家出したがってるってこと？
うん。無意識のうちにお社様が枕元に立つまでは多分意識すらしてなかったと思う。
Still had no idea what she was talking about. I continued trying to figure out what she was saying.
サトシ君が体験していることは誰かが遠くからじっと伺っている。誰かがずっとつけてくる。誰かがいつも自分のそれらは初めのうちはお外でだけだけど、やがて後ろのそれは自分の家の中にまでついてくるようになる。そしてお布団に入って明かりを消してもずっと枕元から見下ろしてるの。ただただ黙ってじっと自らの罪を認めるまで。サトシ君は夢見が悪いってそれで私がどんな夢と聞いたら、私の時をだから彼に予告した。その気配がやがて近づき足音を聞かせるよ。それはきっと私の時と同じだから。サトシ君は初めでも私が予告しお社様が枕元やっと自分の身に起こってることを相談できるのは私しかいないって気づいたの。
Calmly told me what had been going. They couldn't even move. Couldn't tell if her words were a joke or the truth. I could only feel stunned.
私はね、小学校に上がる直前にここから引っ越した。でも新しい環境に馴染む心の中のお社様にひなみ沢に。でも小学生の子が泣きながらも私は現実とお社様の声に板挟む。そして
Looked like she didn't want to go into the details of what followed. I think I know. It's the one where she broke all the glass, right?
結局いろいろあって、だからお社様にはそれで許してもらう。あれ以来お社様の気配を感じることは。でもね、サトシ君は私と違って、それはなぜか。理由は一つ。サトシ君はひなみ沢にはいたけれども、その心をお社様は許さなかったんだね。サトシ君は自問自答をほら、サトシ君アルバイトをしてるでしょ。サトコちゃんが欲しがったあの大きなぬいぐるみは10万円くらいするもんね。サトシ君はサトコでもほらそれだけのお金があったら後先を考えなくていいなら どこか遠くへ逃げ出すサトシくんは無意識のうちにね、サトコちゃんを捨てて、それはサトシ。でもさっきみーちゃんが指摘したように、サトシくんだってバカじゃないもん。兄として認めたくなかっただけで、サトコちゃんが負担になっていることには。だからサトシくんは自分は妹を喜ばせるためのお金を貯めるためにバイトをしているつもりだけれども、それは自分の心を騙しているだけで、本当は自分が逃げ出すためのお金を作るためにバイトしてるんじゃないかって。私は逃げ出すべきじゃないと思う。逃げ出したってサトシ君は多分一生後悔する。お社様だってそれを分かってるからサトシ君にこうして警告してくれているの。サトシ君の心にサトコちゃんを見捨てるなんて悪魔のささやきが早く聞こえなくなるといいんだけども。サトシ君は綿流しの数日後だっけの、サトコちゃんの心も体も追い詰め、そんな苦境がきっとサトコちゃんの誕生。サトシ君は今もサトコちゃんを守るか見捨てるかの天秤の狭間に立たされながらね。
Torrential rain didn't seem to want to stop. It kept pouring down the galvanized iron roof, producing a loud noise. Yet in the shack, it felt completely still. What the hell was she talking about? I couldn't grasp even half of what she was saying. The only thing I had figured out is that Satoshi-kun was struggling, confused, and in lots of pain. Suffering from Oyashiro-sama's curse? Rena has experienced that before? Watanagashi Festival was right around the corner. Oyashiro-sama's curse had struck 3 years in a row. There's no guarantee that it wouldn't strike a fourth time. Toshi-kun was subject to Oyashiro-sama's curse even now? Going to skip town? Is he going to be the next victim of Oyashiro-sama's curse? Either way, he might disappear forever. Could I do something to prevent it? If I didn't do anything, it would all come to a hopeless end. End? Started to feel a sense of dread. I didn't buy the crazy story Rena told me. There's something really happening to Satoshi-kun which might bring about some kind of end. I couldn't help but feeling scared. It's true, isn't it? My instinct is always correct. I decided to contact Mion despite the danger. Mion got upset at her first, but she had to listen to me.
おねえ、サトシ君のことどういうことになってるの？
最近部活に声もかけられ。
何それ？声をかけられないからサトシ君が
ごめん。
おねえ、キンキンにまた入れ替わる機会を
それはでも最近はちょっと綿流しのまたバイト？
私、ひなみ沢の学校へ行く。
What the fuck? Alright, sorry that episode lasted a little bit longer. There's a little bit of danger. When there's danger, I forget about time. I forget completely about when I'm supposed to end the video. So new notebook tips, which we'll read tomorrow. Thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out with me. We got to see Rena. Obviously, Rena's never my favorite person ever. I want her to just leave. But she's not leaving. It's just because she's just a wild card. You never know what you're gonna get when she's on the screen. And it's the anticipation of when is she gonna turn evil? When is she gonna turn evil? When is she gonna turn evil? And it makes you want to keep reading the story because it's adds suspense to the story. So she's definitely the most interesting character to have on the screen, but also it gives me the most anxiety because I never know when she's gonna flip. It's the same thing with Mion. Mion did that same thing in the first one. So I'm curious to see how they kind of explain Rena's character as a whole. It might be that she's a demon, and that would make the most sense to me. It looks like we're gonna hit the hour mark because I'm trying to end it before the hour mark, but I'm gonna give I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. My theory is that Rena could read minds and is a demon. Um, I'm actually not sure because they mentioned Oyashiro-sama as like a thing that everybody experiences, right? Keiichi experienced it because that was basically just describing what we had felt when we were playing Keiichi. That those couple times that we were playing Keiichi, or that one time that we were playing Keiichi, and the other times it was kind of like, yeah. But the first chapter that we played was very much that feeling. And so it's weird that it kind of happens to multiple people. And if it happens to multiple people and it's like a reoccurring thing, that makes me think that there's like demons. Either that or, I mean, Ren is crazy and has some crazy medication that she can like put into you. And I know, I'm sorry, excuse me. I know that Rena has some sort of injection thing, and they were gonna inject it to me at the end of the first chapter, or towards the end of the first chapter, when they like tried to inject me with something to try and like kill me. Like Rena was holding me down or something, and Mion was also there. Where they had to wait for like the manager or some shit, and I like booked it or something. I don't know what happened, but basically there was some sort of medication, and I feel like maybe that has a like because they kind of not mentioned that for a while, and I feel like that's the perfect thing to kind of like what the fuck, like here's the medicine, you know, and here's how what actually is going on, and it's just a hallucination brought on by the medicine. I don't know. That could be a thing. I'm hoping that our status. I mean, Rena knows, right? She knows that we're Shion. That's why she's invited us on this walk. That's why she's kind of like, oh, wouldn't it be weird if you tried to like run away to a big city? Don't you want to do that? And it's like you're kind of talking about Shion because Shion is kind of living in Okinomiya, which is a city. Um, so I'm pretty sure that she just knows already. I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will end today's episode here. I hope to see you guys in the next episode, whenever that may be, and peace out, you guys.